My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are looking at your person's thoughts and feelings for you at this time. Okay, so let's get right into this and we'll start as we usually do. Let us create the framework for the reading by looking at your person's energy generally and then their energy towards you. Just letting you guys know that a 20% sale is on until Monday, my birthday, at midnight. Okay. All right. So I'll put the link down below and further information. All right. So your person's energy. Generally, we have darkness. All right. So battling some depression. Maybe they're feeling tired. Maybe they're feeling low. It could be feeling like they're surrounded by darkness, like they're surrounded by persons or situations that kind of bring them down or drain their energy. We see here a vampire bat. So it could be that they're feeling some soul suckers around them right now, energy vampires around them right now, and they're just trying to, survive. I also see like some two-tongued people around them, smile in your face and stab you in the back kind of way. So this could either be at home, at work, in their family, but let's just say that they're not having the best of times. All right, the energy generally. Sensual, and this I did some readings yesterday, and this card kept popping out. So I'm gonna give you the interpretation that I got yesterday as well, and I'll see if anything else comes through. Well, yeah, I'm seeing like a vulva that's dripping here. Anyways, um, and what I was saying was connected to my post yesterday about the rise of the divine feminine. Now, one of the things that patriarchy did was encouraged men and those who identify with the masculine to disconnect their heart space from their sacral chakra. When the heart space is connected to the sacral chakra, that's when we get this sensuality. It is sex for the purpose of connection. It's sex for the purpose of intimacy. It's sex for the purpose of growing a relationship, creating cohesion. But when it is disconnected from our heart space, it's sex from escape. It's sex for escape, right? And that's what, patriarchy has always encouraged men and the masculine to do, right? And that's why they end up treating their partners just like sex objects because they can't connect, right? That heart sacral chakra connection is gone. So what I think your person has done is recreated that connection between the sacral chakra and the heart chakra. And what that means is they find it very difficult to have casual sex or to have sex with someone that they are not intimately connected with. So if there's a karmic energy in their life, it could be that there may be issues in that relationship right now because they're not feeling that heart connect with that person. Okay. I'm sensing as well, which I didn't pick up yesterday, like a lot of daydreams, fantasizing about you. I think you really get their creative sacral juices flowing because I'm seeing this vulva is dripping there, right? And I'm just thinking about that kind of gets them going. But they're not really interested, it looks like, in sex for sex sake. They're interested in sex for connection to people that they actually love, and I think that's why they might be thinking about you. All right, let's see their general energy towards you, and we're gonna look at their thoughts and feelings. So don't worry about that. but let's get a general vibe. So their mind is on intimacy. Their energy towards you. The field of dreams. Exactly what I was telling you, right? I think it's a lot of fantasizing. I think you guys meeting up in dreamland, a whole lot, and they see you as, this nymph. And I've always, seen nymphs as, this blend of the innocent and the sensual, right? And this is exactly how they see you. So I do think, in the dream state, and their waking fantasies, I think it's very much of you. It's very much of you. And somehow getting a lot of outdoor activities happening. Perhaps in the extended. Well, in the extended, I was going to look at the karmic relationship. I can also look at um exactly what kind of outdoor activities. I can use one of my decks, but this is what they're thinking about, right? So if in the past this person may have been a player, or may have even like bordered on some sort of sex addiction, it's just because they were just trying to escape their life and their own feelings of worthlessness. And now that they are reclaiming self, they don't need sex for escape anymore. What they need now, what they feel like now, is really connecting with somebody, and for the first time. When I'm thinking about you, about goblins. Now, this card is all about our fears, right? It's a card number 5, so it also, because there's a lot of wooded parts here, it makes me think of the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is that feeling of, being left behind, feeling outside the circle, outside the trusted circle. It's the feeling of being abandoned, right? And this is one of your person's greatest fears. Yeah, I think part of them was afraid of intimacy, but even greater than that fear of intimacy is that fear of loss, right? So this is what they're thinking about, now that they've really made up their mind as to exactly what they want, and what their future relationships would look like they are wondering, have you left them behind? Is there still space in your heart for them? Do you still feel the same way? I feel like it's just a lot of fears coming up for them right now. And they're feeling very vulnerable. And that's one thing that, sex without intimacy really, that's one way in which sex without intimacy really benefited your person, because it gave your person armor, right? So sex instead of connection was a kind of buffer. But now that they don't have that anymore, they're feeling really exposed, they're feeling really vulnerable. So all these fears are coming up for them. All right, let's pull some cards on those. I'm going to be using the Magic Moon Tarot that was given to me last week by our soul sister Jennifer. All right, Spirit, tell us about these 2 cards here. And we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and this talks about destabilization, not feeling secure, not feeling safe. It can also talk about the release of a third party or breakdown of some sort of foundation. All right, Spirit, tell us about the sensuality card. We have the Fool in reverse. Okay, so I think they're looking back on the past and seeing, I wouldn't say how foolish their behavior was, but maybe how immature. their behavior was, and they're contrasting it to who they are now, or who they are becoming, which is the emperor, who has self-discipline, who has self-control, who is empowered and not just giving their power away, right? The true epitome of strength. Before, your person thought that strength was stoicism, right? Strength was being unaffected by whatever was happening to them. Strength meant not being connected or attached to anybody. But now your person is saying, there is power in connection. Let's see this goblin card for how they feel about you. We have the Hermit, right? Feeling kind of self-protective, right? Now that, they're feeling this vulnerability, it's making them pull back a bit because they're afraid of being hurt by you. Ten of Swords. When they weren't connected to anybody, you didn't have to worry about that. But now that they're feeling this hard connect with you, they're really worried about being hurt. They're worried that you might be playing mind games with them. But this is just all their fears coming up. It just probably isn't grounded in any sort of reality regarding your relationship. Now, when your person thinks about you and thinks about this connection, where is their mind at? Let's see where their mind is at. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Where is their mind at? Underneath the deck, we have practicality, right? So they're on the little nitty-gritty things that kind of propels life forward, right? Those pentacles type of things, like, how is this going to work out? Where are you guys going to live? And also they're concerned about what is going to be the fallout of their decision to come towards you, how much it's going to cost, right? So it's those kind of things that's taking up their headspace right now. Let's see. When they think about you and this connection, what are they seeing? All right, so they're anticipating the fallout, right? And we saw that with that practicality card at the bottom. So it could be that your person's with somebody else, or it could be they have some very interfering family members and friends, and they know that they're very meshed with. They're very meshed with, right? And it looks like your person had an issue with boundaries before. So these people, they know no bounds, right? And they feel like their decision to come towards you is going to stir up a lot of drama in these relationships. Maybe there's something about you that these people don't approve of, right? I'm hearing that word, like, you're not like us. So maybe the way you see the world could be different. Maybe you look different. Maybe it's something that might be ethnic or cultural or something like that. But whatever it is, they feel like you are not like them. And for them, difference means an existential threat, right? So you are a threat to the harmony of whatever group your person has identified with historically, and that they've always kind of been a part of, or have always sought validation from, right? They anticipate that this group is going to give a lot of pushback, and they're preparing themselves for the drama. We see the line here. They're preparing themselves for the drama. Let's see what else is going on in their headspace. Again, the practicality of life, right? Where you guys going to live? Maybe some of you guys are at a distance. Maybe there's something about this decision that's going to affect their finances. Okay, I don't know. Some of them might be engaged, married, have a long-term partnership with somebody, common law relationship, common law marriage, and there might be some kind of financial fallout there. Maybe they're business partners, with these persons or with a spouse. So there's going to be upheaval there. So a lot of things are going to fall is a lot of things are going to fall apart for a person in terms of um their material gains, right? And they're trying to put things in place that's going to mitigate the fallout. What else are they thinking about? When they think about you and this connection, what are they thinking about? We have organization. Okay. So I feel like with this one is, like getting things in place, getting their ducks in a row. And again, especially their finances. Wheat always symbolizes fertility and abundance, right? And then we have cows, another symbol of fertility and abundance in many cultures, right? So they're trying to show up their finances. We might even be trying to, oh my God, I don't even want to say hide their finances here so that they have enough to be an equal partner to you and to build a life with you. This person does not want to become any sort of drain on you whatsoever. So this is them getting their ducks in a row. This is what they're thinking about. How do they get ready for partnership with you? Right? How do they get ready for partnership with you? Now, let's look at their heart space energy where you are concerned. So they're anticipating the drama. They're putting things in place to mitigate the drama. And they're also trying to come up with a strategic plan that's going to allow them to blend their life with yours. Let's see the heart space energy for you. We have yearning, longing to be with you, longing to be near you, longing to touch you, longing to talk to you, and be vulnerable and be open. God. Heart space energy. Solution oriented, they're focused on the solution. They're no longer focused on the problem. They've identified the problem. They're focused on the solution. What is the solution? How do you guys blend your life? How do they deal with these people, these naysayers, and really get themselves in a gear? We have vengeful. For some of you, your person thinks that you're not going to be welcoming, that when they make their overtures to you, that you're going to use that opportunity to get your revenge, to extract your revenge for whatever they may have done in the past. They feel like you may rebuff them. They feel like you may tell them to F off, right? So that's another fear that they have, that they will not be welcomed, that they will make all the sacrifice, put all these things in place, and you will tell them F off. What else? We have bitter, right? So I feel like they may also think that you might be bitter. And maybe you do have a lot to be bitter about. Maybe you do. Objectively so, right? Maybe you do have a lot to be bitter about. So they're also concerned that this bitterness may not allow you to have space in your heart for their return, their advances. What else? Yeah, so they're bracing themselves. They're bracing themselves for the rejection. And this that they're feeling here, this their perception, they perceiving that you are out for revenge and that you are bitter. This is all part of the fears that they have going on. So this might not even be grounded in reality. I think for some of you it may be grounded in reality, surely. But for a lot of you, this is not how you feel. But this is how they would feel if you had done half of the shit that they did to them. So they're bracing themselves for impact. They are bracing themselves for impact. It's not going to stop them from coming far because it feels like they are committed to taking the risk, but they are bracing themselves for your no. All right, let's get some 3D messages from your person. Let me get this one. I don't know why. This is I can't even remember the name of this deck, to be honest. Haters Exposed by Fire Witch Tarot. Not one I use often. I'm not sure why I'm drawn to it, but maybe the haters in their life have been exposed. So what does your person want to tell you about that? So I think they want to tell you about these people that are creating drama in their life. Because I think I've only used this deck once. So they want to tell you that the haters are exposed. Well, what else? We have claiming credit over your success. All right, so some of these haters that your person has, they're at work. They're at work, and maybe they have been impacting upon your person's abundance by taking credit for your person's intellectual property, for your person's projects, right? And I think they may have been exposed by management. Okay, so what else is happening? You overpower them without even knowing it. All right, so what they want you to know is that your energy is a challenge to this person. It challenges them to show up in a different way. It challenges them to be a better person. It challenges them to go after their dreams. It challenges them to face their fears, right? It challenges them to reach their full potential. And it's nothing that you say. It's the way that you live your life. And it's the way that, it's just your energy. It's just your energy. And they want you to know they feel intimidated by you. This person feels intimidated by you. And that's why we see all this organization that's going on here, all this strategic planning that's going on here. Because they know they can't come with something half-assed because you're not a half-assed person. What else do they want you to know? Did not expect that to come through. What else? The winds will alert you when spell work is being done against you. I feel like this is a warning that is coming through from your person's higher self. For some of you, you may need to take a little spiritual bath or whatever you do to clear yourself. And there are lots of beautiful meditations on YouTube for self-clearing. Steve Noble has a lot, but your person is warning you that whether it's some sort of hex spell work, or it could even be like, evil eye energy, it feels like there's some clearing that you need to have done at this time. Okay? Now, if you do your self-clear and you're still feeling heavy, you can always reach out for services. And as I said, the sale is on. But I believe in self-empowerment first. You try first to clear yourself, and then you can always ask for help, right? But they're saying there's something here. There's some sort of negative energy being projected at you at this time, right? So this weekend, take some time out to clear yourself and to clear your home, even if it means just cleaning up, because that's very important when we're talking about our spiritual hygiene. What else do they want you to know? It's interesting. Haters are mad because they see winning. So I think for a lot of you guys, this is evil eye energy. In my country, they call it Maljo, right? This is evil eye energy, negative thought projections. And sometimes people don't even know that they're doing that. But the jealousy, the envy is so strong that it becomes a psychic attack. It becomes a psychic attack, right? So it looks like you have some fans, right? You have some fans that you may not know about. They're keeping on the up and up with your accomplishments, with your success, and they're not too happy. And some of you, this thing that they're talking about spell work is really just negative thought projections that are bouncing off of your energy field at this time. Now, the thing is, if you get a lot of that bombardment, sometimes it creates little holes and cracks in your aura, which is our first line of psychic defense. All right. So ramp up your protection, your prayers, definitely whatever else you do to clear yourself. You're going to be a little more vigilant than usual, right? What else is coming through? An ex is the one sending negative energy towards you. So this negative energy is not just coming from people on your person's side. Your person's also letting you know that there's an ex of yours that's also keeping up with your success and your activities. And they're not too happy. I think maybe this person thought that when you left them, that you would fall flat in your face and you never amount to nothing or anything like that. And you've done exactly the opposite. And they are not happy about that. So for some of you guys, there might be some cord cutting that you need to do with an ex. And again, lots of meditations on YouTube for that, right? And again, a lot of persons offering those services, so you can go right ahead. But maybe there's an ex that you need to block, right? Don't give these people access to your energy. They're an ex for a reason, right? So don't give them access to your energy. So there's somebody here in your past that may still have access to you, whether it's on your social media or whatever. Block their ass, right? Sometimes the boundary needs to be a block. And sometimes the energetic boundary needs to start with the boundary in the 3D, right? They're an ex for a reason. Block them. Because it feels like they still have energetic access to you. Okay. All right. In the extended, we're going to look at the karmic connection. I'm going to look at what sort of outdoor activities your person is thinking about when they think about you. And then I'm going to look at their next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. But if you can't join me in the extended, whether through the single link or Patreon, this is going to be Spirit's message or of guidance for you. Okay. We have life force and Aphrodite. So that's that Venus energy, divine feminine energy. Okay, so it feels like you are just overflowing with this life force energy right now. And it's going to make you attractive to a lot of people. And all sorts, right? Let's see what we have here. We have guardian angels and we have deceit coming through. So I feel this is a message from your spirit guys one time, letting you know that you are protected, right? You just have to do your part. Let's see. It says here, treachery, dishonesty, betrayal, and exploitation. Your guardian angels are present, alerting you to the fact that all isn't as it appears. And it's so crazy that these messages are coming through. I've had so many weird dreams. I've not been taking notice, but I am on the alert now. Something is off and you may be in danger. Pay attention to what is going on around you as well as what is going on within you. You'll soon notice that bad vibes are in the air. I feel it. I do. They signal that someone is potentially able to exploit or manipulate you in some way. So be on the alert and trust your vibes if things don't feel right. It's hard to believe, you say. That can't be. But your guardian angels remind you that treachery and deceit are subtle and difficult to see. After all, no one wants to believe that someone might hurt them. Sometimes it's a deliberate attempt to injure, but more often it's an act of self-protection at your expense. It may show up in your co-worker's failure to inform you that a project deadline has changed. So it feels like whatever's happened to your person is also being mirrored in your own world as well, because they were getting shafted by some co-workers, and Spirit is warning you that some people that you're working with that are also not after your best interest. That a deadline has changed, or your mother withholding the fact that your father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, or even your own neglect to tell your mate that you've overspent this month and can't pay the bills. Deceit and manipulation need not be maliciously intended to occur or to be damaging. Often it's just the result of thoughtlessness or fear. Your guardian angels urge you to trust your vibes completely when it comes to your suspicion of others. Also, equally scrutinize your own deceptions. Either case leads to dead ends and disappointing outcomes. Ask your guardian angels to protect you from the deceit of others and your own temptation to deceive, even though it could be deceiving yourself. Have the courage and integrity to be honest. Your guardian angel's message here is, we will watch over you. So they're letting you know that you have spiritual protection. But you also have to protect yourself from others, and also, Spirit is saying, from yourself. You know, we can lie to ourselves sometimes, right? Things are staring us right in front of the face. Just like me, I've been getting dreams. I've been feeling that there's something that is off, and I've just not been paying attention because they're like, you know what? Who's going to bother? But I've been feeling it. It is there. I'm going to be spending this weekend really looking after myself spiritually. Okay? All right. So, guys, you can join me next Sunday if you are able to. Otherwise, have an amazing weekend. Take care of yourself, especially your spiritual needs this weekend. Take time out and really tend to your spiritual cleansing and protection, right? Let it extend to your home, let it extend to your handbag. Like if you're like me, everything kind of goes in your handbag, all the wrappers and everything, right? Right. Clean it out, sanitize your space, and give yourself a clearing. Okay? My love, take care.